Yo, 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 it is Reverse Polarity. I'm your boy High Five Vega, joined as always by the man who never sleeps, the guy who is a magician when it comes to zip ties. Can you tell I didn't have anything prepared?
It's okay, man.
The destroyer of salads. His name is Dean Bayette. He is the man at 5 Star Car Stereo. He does fabulous installs every day. Check him out.
Okay, I'll take
Six
all of
days
it.
a week. 6 days a week.
Yeah. Isn't there a song about that?
There you go. Exactly.
Sucks either way. How's it going, man?
Going great. It's a snowmageddon down here. Actually, it was more ice than snow.
Right.
Roads are still terrible. We ran to the store just to get out of the house, and they're still terrible.
Now, why would you do that?
We just got stuck. I was like, hey man, I got to get out of here, see what the world's like, see how the roads are.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anytime there's a hurricane, it's like people are just jonesing to get out of their house and drive around and try to find out whose house got fucked up. It's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah. It's like you gotta see. But I was wanting to test really to see how tomorrow's gonna go for work. But
okay.
The roads they've done almost nothing to the roads, so
perfect. Do you have like chains and shit for your car?
No, the Trooper actually does really good in snow. So I haven't needed them yet, but
okay,
we'll see.
It was 80 and very hot today. Apparently, Puxatawny Phil doesn't live anywhere near Florida.
Right.
However, it's supposed to get cold again.
Cold, like 50 degrees.
No, not that cold. I think it's supposed to be in the 60s. It might be 50 at night. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I seen you and Haley with the hoodies on, and how cold was it in that video on The Boring Life?
Oh, dude, that was in the 40s, and I was miserable. Like, oh my god. Well, okay, yes, thank you.
You're like, that's it. I'm moving to Jamaica.
Yeah. So when the weatherman gives you like the high and low, all right, for us, it's never near the low ever.
Right.
It's like they come up with some stupid number to make us feel good,
just to scare you,
but it'll never get there. Like it's like a high today of 95 and a low of 76.
Right.
And you're like, it will never be 76. It'll be 76 at 4 a.m. for like 5 seconds.
Right.
So that's just how it is here. They screw with us. And so I was like, whatever. What's up?
I got this. What's up, Scott?
So I grabbed my hoodie. I'm thinking, it'll be high, 6, low 60s, be nice, be a beautiful day. Man. No. I look like I had Parkinson's disease. I was shaking so much. Oh my god. I was like your Chihuahua, just like,
yeah.
Oh
dude.
God.
She's had a rough go. She has had a rough go. She done the move where we're letting her out this morning. My wife gets up, because we slept in because it was a snow day. So
yeah.
And I said she's not going to go out there. She said I know, but she thinks she's going to. She done the move, the instant turnaround. Well, about 4 hours later, she couldn't hold it no more, so she had to take care of business. So she went out there and braved it.
When we get a hurricane day, it's like you're half the time you're like, crap, man. It's like you're just paranoid the whole day because either the shit's gonna go down, or the shit's gonna blow past you. But right. you're like this the whole time. What has changed in the last 5 minutes? Nothing. Okay. I will wait 5 more minutes. And so you're just by the time the day is over, you're just like, I need a nap. I'm just tired from stressing out.
Yeah, that I hate. We're tornadoes up here when it happens. It's like, oh god. And I always err on the caution of I should be doing a lot more than I'm doing. but I'm just hanging out and see what happens. But
I got a couple bucks.
We have a small generator. It's only a 1,000-watt generator, but it's 2-cycle and it's loud.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Like a weed eater.
Yeah.
So I charged up the battery bank for the testing. I went and bought a new inverter, a 1,500-watt inverter. So we were prepared in case anything happened. But, we made it out alive.
It's funny. I don't know at what point on the show, like, we started talking about weather.
Right.
But, that is definitely one of the staples of any one of the 5-star shows that we do is like, it's always tell us your, and I think where it came from is that there was a couple times where people do shout out, in the beginning, people do shout outs like, hey, so-and-so, like,
right.
We were like, where are these people watching from? So at the beginning of the show, we started doing like, hey, tell us where you're watching from, so that we would kind of have an idea of where everyone is. And it was just fun.
Kind of like this.
Cincinnati. Yep. So, and then that slowly snowballed into the weather. That's why even on the news show, we have a weather segment, because it just wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about the weather on the show at some point.
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's just funny. It just kind of sets the groundwork, I feel, for, we're going to talk about car stereo. We ain't saving babies. We ain't solving world hunger. We're like, what's the best pair of 6.5s? I don't know.
Yeah. That's gonna go in with tonight's topic.
Yeah. So, to me, that's like, I just think it's kind of fun. And then plus just figuring out where everyone is from. It's like car stereo. If the world could focus on car stereo, like, the community that exists is just, it's so vast, and and we all have this something that we can all, regardless of whatever's going on in the world or who hates who or who's done what to whatever, it's the one thing that universally we can all focus on and be like, we like good music, and we want equipment that can do that, and we want it in our cars, because that's freedom. No matter where you're at in the world, your car is a symbol of some form of freedom. Whether it be freedom of expression, freedom of just like some place where you can go and shut the doors and no one can screw with you, freedom of movement, just anything, having that vehicle and being able to do stuff, which honestly is one of the things that, like, the younger crowd, I don't think understands.
They kind of missed out. They didn't want to get their license. Kyle didn't. My daughter, Bailey, she wanted it pretty quickly, but Kyle, he held out for a while.
Yeah, I just, and don't get me wrong, I was the last guy too to get my driver's license, because I had a bike. That was my freedom. I'd just ride my bike wherever I wanted to go. I didn't care, and then once I got the car, the music aspect of it caught on, and that changed everything. But, it was like these kids nowadays, they're like, they'll just Uber. I'm going to Uber, or I'm going to like it. When you were in high school, did the thought of picking up the phone and ordering anything other than a pizza make any sense to you? And even I'll go get the pizza. Exactly. No, we'll have it delivered. Nah, I got this. Exactly. Because it's like I can bang the whole way there, and I can bang the whole way back. And then which is all I wanted. I just want an excuse to drive my car to play my stereo loud. So, and these kids nowadays, they're just like DoorDashing the hell out of this stuff, and Uber Eats and all these other things, and
they're living it up, dude. They're living it up.
It's like,
could you imagine putting them on the phone and be like, listen, we're going to see a movie tonight. I need you to call this number and then wait till they tell you the movie times. What was that called? Movie phone? Wait until they tell you what time the movie we're going to watch.
It's next. I missed it. I gotta listen to it. It's a 20-plex. I gotta listen to this again. Just hang up and dial back. No, it's on recording. Oh, you suck.
That was always fun.
Oh my god. People on there going, what?
It was the same dude too. The same guy. It doesn't matter where you lived. The movie phone guy. He done it for everything.
And he made $1 million. We floating pizza back then.
No. Definitely not.
Was Casey, was that you that said that movie we were going to watch sucked this week? I thought that was her.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you got to watch it 3 times. At the time, I didn't know what she meant.
Yeah.
I found out real quick she meant, and immediately I thought, if it was, I'm pretty sure it was her, and I was like,
got him.
She tried to warn us. She tried to warn us. Damn it, Jim.
We come ill prepared, and that's what happens.
Yeah. You got a poll?
I have a poll. Let me pull it up.
Let's check out the poll.
Let's check out the poll.
It was Cassie.
It's actually not a poll. It's a question.
I'm gonna get the name wrong. Is it Cassie? It's Cassie, right?
Cassie. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Cassie. I suck at names.
It's sassy Cassie.
Sassy Cassie. I had Macintosh speakers.
Yeah, they're great.
I had the 6.5 components. I had a bunch of Macintosh stuff. We were a huge dealer. What is your favorite set of component speakers of all time? This has to be a set you've personally used or at least heard before. Let me know in the comments. All right. So you've owned a set of Macintosh?
I've had Macintosh. Man, I've had Macintosh. I've had Illusion Audio. I've had some pretty high-end Morel. The highest end Focal I ever had were the Kevlar.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few brands that I've never touched. I've never touched Hertz.
Yep.
And a few. Well, where do yours rank personally before we get into the comments?
To break Jeff Smith's heart. No. Okay, side jag real quick. So I'm sitting in the car and I get a text message while I'm driving from Jeff. And I'm like, okay, so I hit the thing and it says, Jeff sent you a picture. I was like, all right, so I'm driving and I said, I'll look at it when I get home. I get home. Dude, he sends me a picture. Hold on. God. This is more than once now this has happened. I feel like he's stalking me. He's not. Just kidding. So he sends me this picture of the back of my head.
Yeah.
At a stoplight. He's behind me.
Yeah.
You see my nice bald spot. It's wonderful. I'm like, okay. All right. Yeah.
It always feels like somebody's watching Dean.
Apparently it's true. I mean, okay, so like personally I've kind of stuck close to the I had a bunch of Kenwood stuff once and really enjoyed that, but I enjoyed it because I got it at a really great price. So it wasn't like it was the best stuff I'd ever heard. My Morel system that I had many years ago, out of nostalgia, was definitely the most fun system I'd ever had. It had four big ass tweeters, 2 mid-range, 4 mid-bass, tons of power, and it just the only thing that was better than that was my buddy Nathan's car, where he had 3 mid-bass and 2 mid-range and 2 tweeters with even more power. So I mean, that was insanity there. I mean, we were doing with Morel speakers what these guys are doing with loudspeakers now. I mean, it was straight. Like my door literally had a set of 2 sets of tweeters, a set of mid-range, 6.5-inch mid-range, and then 2 mid-bass. So it looked just like these ghetto sleds now with like the SPL shit, but it was straight up Morel. And it was impressive. I wish I had a picture of it because it'd just be like, yeah, this is, and they were like, are those Morels? Yeah. Wow, that was expensive. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this wasn't speaker by the pound, bro. But that sounded really nice. That sounded really good. But I would back up and talk about like speakers I've heard now. Speakers that like things that are like memorable. Was like the first time I heard a set of Audio Frog GB60s in a system.
Yeah.
Everyone had always talked about how good they were. Jeff himself, he was like, dude, you got to hear these. And I had heard his, but I had never done a set on my own. And when we finally got a chance to do a set, it was like, oh, wow, get intimate with them, as it were. I was like, wow, these are really awesome speakers. I mean, the whole line is amazing, but just impact that they get out of that speaker is very impressive. The Illusion 3.5-inch coaxial, there again, Jeff had a set, and those sounded great. But then being able to hear them in a couple other cars, and then we finally got to do a set, and it was like, damn, like these are legit, like shit, man, these are really nice. Which was cool, being able to do our own. It's one thing to hear them; it's another thing to actually be able to put them in yourself and then sit back and do what you will with them.
Right. Well, you're in a position where you get to hear many more speakers than the average, even a really, really overtly enthusiast kind of person is not going to listen to nearly as many speakers as you do day to day.
And even there, like, those are really expensive speakers, but like even today we had a set of just the Focal plug and play Fords, or Focal inside as they like to call them, that we put a boatload of power on. Or I'm sorry, we put recommended power on them from big amplifiers, and DSP'd them, and it was like, even those were just like, they sound, Fernando was like, God damn, these are, I wasn't expecting this. This is, and the customer literally goes, I love you, man. And I'm
that's always nice when you do something that's like a budget focused line, and you're like, wow, like, wow.
I mean, yeah, it was budget focused, but it still was $5,000. So I mean, it's like, we pushed this budget as hard as we could. Let me tell you what.
Right.
If you got hit in the head with this snowball, it fucking hurt. But we're doing that.
We crammed it in.
And like in the new hybrid tweeters from Morel, when we put those in Fernando's car, it was like, I wasn't expecting the performance out of those, like how loud and like like a K2 from Focal is loud. My voice went up there for some reason. There's peak meters going, what the hell is he doing? And I always tell people, you just don't understand K2 until you've heard K2,
right?
And so I'll always stand by that. Like, that is a very impressive. It's like going to the nightclub for the first time and only the first time, where you're just like that feeling of like, I've never been to a nightclub before, and this is, I hope, how every nightclub is. Come to find out, it's not the case. But that's somewhat the feeling that I can help people understand. Like when they're going to buy K2, it's like, remember that first time you went to a nightclub and you were just like, holy shit, I want to die here. This is so cool. That's like a K2. And they're just like, really? I'm like, yeah, trust me. And then they'll hear them and they'll be like, yeah, you're right. This is some awesome shit.
Well, you already planted the seed in their head, so it's going to sound good.
But the Piccolo tweeter from Morel.
Oh, those got a dope little design on them too, on the front for the cage.
Yeah. The Lotus, they call it the Lotus design.
Yeah.
Tuning matters more than speaker itself in most cases. No. I mean, I get what you're saying, but no. The speaker matters. The speaker matters 100%. I can't make shit sound good.
Yeah.
I can push shit and I can mold shit, and apparently on Mythbusters you can shine shit a little bit, but it's still shit, and you can only get so good with shit. So I mean, and don't get me wrong, we can make shit sound pretty good, but it's still shit as soon as you compare it to half the quality of it that's, half better, you're going to be like, oh, that's the best those will ever sound.
Well, it's always apparent in the tweeters to me.
Yeah.
That's where you could use, as you get higher end, you could tell in the mid range, but the tweeters to me, it's like, whoa, these are not it.
Well, and that's why when we talk to people, we're like, okay, let's figure out the tweeter problem first, because mid bass is more like, yes, there are some speakers that do mid bass better than other speakers. There's no question about it, but we have to make sure we get the tweeter right for what you want. Back to that, the Morel tweeter, the hybrid, it's a very loud, dynamic, just like, holy crap, but it's a dome, and you're just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. It was impressive.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's why we always tell people, look, we just need to know whether you like this a smoother, more natural sound, or if you like it like glass breaking, because there's two different sides to that. Not that they both won't do it, it's just one does it better than the other. And you just kind of have to, because they'll all play the frequencies. They'll all play the frequencies. Like, you know, you play pink noise and you look at an RTA, and this one is at this level and this one's at the same exact level. And on the computer, they're more or less identical outputs, but they sound, once you sit in the car, they have a totally different sound. And it's like, hey, man, you know, it's just what it is.
And that's the hardest to fake too. The tweeter, to me, you can kind of, the mid range. I guess if you're a 2-way set, you have less room. If you're in a 3-way set, you can get away with quite a bit on the mid bass.
Yeah.
But in a 2-way set, you know, depending on how high it needs to play up, sometimes you get caught with a cheap mid as well.
Yeah, I tell you, we did an X type system this week. And
they're still making those?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well,
it's the same ones.
The tweeter is huge. Like the X type tweeter is ginormous. It's not made for small locations. And of course, one thing led to another. We ended up putting some in a car that just really didn't want to do, because I knew how much work it was going to take to get them in there.
Right.
And it was a lot of fucking work. And of course, we used the Alpine 2.5-inch mid range, or 3-inch mid range, whatever it is, and the 6.5, and all active and whatnot. And that tweeter saved the day, man. It's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it was worth the struggle to get it in there, but it was just that tweeter definitely saved the day on that system. It was just performance was phenomenal. It was like, wow, man, this is.
I haven't heard a Type X. I have some old school ones somewhere around here, but I haven't heard them since then. Any of the new ones now. F1 status, like the Scan Speak built F1 status, super dope. But yeah, I have more experience with the Type R's than the Type X.
Well, you know, and he says the Alpine Type X doesn't offer enough improvement over the Type R in my experience. You might be looking at the mid bass, but when you see those two tweeters, there is nothing similar about them at all. I mean, the R series type, whatever the hell it is, the R tweeter is a flat, just about the size of a quarter, hard surface tweeter that is great because you can get it down to like this. It's small as shit and it puts out a ton of sound. Whereas the X type tweeter is almost a quarter of an inch bigger, big solid cloth dome with a back baffle that has to be on it because of how big the dome is and how much it moves, and it handles way more power. They look nothing alike. They're night and day, and the sound difference is they're again night and day. So the mid bass is it's kind of similar. I think the X type has a bigger voice coil.
Yeah,
but they both use similar baskets, similar neo structure. I think they have the same weird surround, but it doesn't really matter because next month is next month, and you'll find out.
And things are going to happen.
So,
like, if someone's coming in and you're like, Dean, I want the best component set that you offer for the least amount of money that a general person would be happy with. What are you going with?
Well, I mean, we still have to have that conversation of like, what are we trying to do? You know, there is a bunch of speakers in the $300 price range.
Right.
Okay. It's oversaturated. There are so many speakers in that $300 price range. And they all sound great. So it's like, okay, but that's the nice thing. The more we talk, the more we can refine and get you to the point to where, but the problem is it's a $300 speaker. So I don't want to spend a ton of time talking to you about it because it's still a $300 set of speakers. We need to kind of move on. We're on Maximo 602s Mark II. Oh, hands down. And there, I was going to say that, but I mean, I didn't want to throw the softball that, because there are other speakers. Right. But yeah, those those are really hard to. Those are really hard to just like. All right, I'm gonna look away. No,
I had high hopes for these speakers, and I still haven't got my hands on them. But I've heard people say that they're not as good as they hoped they'd be.
And okay, when somebody makes a statement that says they're not as good as they hoped they would be, don't care, because if you're sitting there expecting, okay, first things first, let's look at it like this. Sony ES was out what, 10 years ago? Longer,
yeah.
Okay,
that was like early 2000s.
So the guys that are like, oh man, okay, so they're all my age now, which means they can't hear for shit. Okay, so they're all talking about how great the old ones were and the new ones aren't as good, or some other dumb shit like that. It's like, dude, come on. It's a $289 set of speakers. How impressive do you think they're going to be? Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you're going to get K2 hybrid? You're going to get Focal. You're going to get that sound for under $300? I mean, no. It's not going to happen. They sound good. They sound real good. It's a $300 set of speakers. You sit in that car and you listen to those things, and you're like, damn, these are nice. Tweeter's ugly as shit and not functional. It's just like the X type. It's like, where am I going to put this? Well, we got a 3.5-inch location in the dash. All right, I guess that's where the giant 2-inch tweeter is going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is the thing that irritates me about that speaker is like, you guys weren't thinking this through. Like,
What if you remember so it was before the ES and before the XES, they had just XS. That was their high-end line, the Japanese stuff. And I think they had dual silk dome tweeters in each pod, basically.
Okay.
And I think those were like $1,100 for a pair.
Yeah.
And then the mid-range was something like $700 for the pair. And then the 6.5s, which were way too big to go in any door, were around $700 a pair. So
yeah,
they were really high end.
I mean, but that made sense back then. Like everyone was making these things because cars were easy. You could build door panels on a car in a day.
Yeah,
it wasn't like now where it's like, oh, we're gonna 3D print out some door panels for you. And there's 6 different colors of vinyl on them, and they're all black.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really don't have an answer for like. I mean, obviously the Morel is always going to win.
Yeah. Well, there's like what Morel, Hertz. All of them make something in that range. The big guys, anyways. Focal.
Everybody has a $79 set of speakers, all the way up to, you got to be fucking kidding me. Everybody has it. I mean, Focal just released brand new auditors, finally. So I have high hopes that they don't suck. So I've been lackluster with that up until now. So they're promising me these are way better speaker. You're gonna love the way they sound. You're gonna be happy with them. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll give them a chance. Why not? I mean, how good can an $80 set of speakers sound?
Right.
How good does it have to sound? I mean, I look at it like this. Here's a CS, which to me is one of the best sounding inexpensive speakers.
Right.
And there's a lot of them. And I think these sound really, really good. And so if they sound as good or better than these, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
That's all I can hope for. All right. So what did people say?
Are you ready to see them?
Yeah, let's go through it. I mean, of course, Boston Acoustic was Jeff's.
Yeah, Boston Acoustic. They made appearances on here,
of course,
as well as MB Court.
Yeah, I hated them both. Maybe his was MB Court. My bad. He said MB Court.
Right.
I hated MB Court.
I loved MB Court. The tweeters are hard to tune. I just had a
hard to tune. You mean they're hard? How could you tune them? You couldn't see.
Exactly.
You're like, oh my god, I'm blind. I can't see these.
They were so bad. Even if I was running active with those, I still ran the passive just to kind of take the edge off.
Dude, all I know is I would get in the car and be like, you've got MB Courts, right? Yeah, man, I got Court. They're the best. I'm like, no, they're not.
Is that how Nando has the lab when you were listening?
Oh yeah, he was real. He was definitely like, yeah, no, these are fine. Leave them the way they are. And I'm like,
Get the sparkle. He
okay.
wanted the sparkle, man.
Oh, he got the sparkle. He's got a fucking My Little Pony up in the front seat of that bitch.
But we did get some shouts to Oz Audio, which we're kind of a
Wow.
no frills, old school company that had some decent stuff.
Dude, they literally put stickers on woofers.
Yeah.
Give me a break. I mean, I remember getting those in. I'm like, dude, your woofer has a sticker on it. No, that's the logo. It's a sticker. Okay.
Hey, they listen. Do you remember Eminem Godfathers?
Oh yeah.
Those were just. I mean, come on. They were basically the same type of speaker. I mean, let's be honest, kicker too. Back in that day, it was just all like pro sound type drivers.
Oh yeah, Gauss, Fane. Oh yeah,
30 ounce magnets.
Yep, just something that they could put 1,000 watts on. That we found out wasn't 1,000 watts.
Right, exactly.
Way to ruin our childhood. Way to ruin our childhood, Derek.
Oh yeah, man. With the 2100, it ruined a lot of people's day. Mine included.
Let's get the pitchforks and take them out. Oh. MB Quartz.
MB Quartz. ADS.
Okay, so for all you MB Quartz lovers, you do realize that German Maestro is the same company, right?
Yeah, did they fix the tweets though?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the tweets are way nicer.
Hey, we got a shout out to German Maestro right here.
Yep. So
JBL.
If you want MB Quartz, it's the same people. It's a different company because when Rockford bought them, and now it's owned by Maxonic or one of those guys own the MB Quartz name. But German Maestro is the same employees. Kill the beast. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. German Maestro is the same people. Same people, same molds. They're same guys. They sued and won. Go Germany, go. But yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Here's CDT.
I don't even know what that is.
There's like a kind of like a DIY. They do a lot of stuff. Arc Audio.
Dude, the most okay. Arc stuff sounds amazing. And I feel the only people that know how good Arc stuff sounds are the guys that compete.
Right.
Because like when you're in the lanes, how many cars did you see with Arc speakers?
Oh, there was a ton. Yeah, there was a whole Arc section. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they all show up. But like for some reason, it hasn't translated out to consumer sales. It's just the guys that are like, I want really amazing speakers. I'm going to go with Arc. And, we've had the conversation with them about it. And I always laugh. I go, because every time we sit in one of their cars, I'm like, I got nothing. These things sound so beautiful. We can't sell Arc at the store. We have another dealer that sells it, and they're really good friends of ours. So it wouldn't be anything. If anything, every time we talk about it, we help them.
Right.
But I told them, I said, listen, I want to be the guy that sells the most amount of Arc speakers, but never actually sells any Arc speakers. And they just kind of looked at me for a minute. I'm like, think about it.
That's your niche.
Oh yeah, good point. But dude, no, it's like, I mean, here's the problem with Arc. They make some of the most amazing shit ever, and their website sucks.
It does suck. It does.
And how in the fuck are you going to let people, like, how do you sell something if you have a website that sucks? You can't, because where do people go to find information? The website. If the website sucks, like, dude, some of the amps they make are freaking amazing.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like when I talked to Brian at SQ Finals, like, dude, I didn't know y'all had this 6 or was it 8 channel 50-watt DSP amp. Like,
oh, you dude, I have one sitting on the shelf. They're fucking awesome. I love it. I mean, it's expensive. Don't kid yourself. They are not a discount brand. Everything they make comes with a price tag that's like, oh, this is special, isn't it? You bet your ass it is.
Yeah.
But
it's so much nicer when you save your money up for something like that, though. It's like you had to save your money up. It wasn't an impulse purchase, and it's like, this is nice. I'm going to treat this with some sort of reverence because it's a high end piece of equipment that I've wanted, and I took time and money to get this.
I get caught up in the moment sometimes, like in my personal stuff. I'll just be like, I don't want to put it in.
Oh, dude, I'm like
just
that.
want
I'm
to
like
look
that
at it.
now, and I don't even install every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll put yours in. I don't know if I
yeah,
ever want to put mine in.
right.
I don't want to be disappointed. I'm like, oh, it's gonna break my heart. All
I'm
right.
to the point where I don't want to do anybody's.
Well, I don't want. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're paying me, but so the
Yeah.
problem I run into is that I can see the future. So I see every single problem I'm gonna run into,
Right.
and that just totally destroys. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! Like if I'm being paid for it, it's like day-to-day
Yeah.
shit. It's fine. It's what I'm here for. But like when it's mine, it's like I know the problems I'm gonna run into. I'm like, I just don't want to
Is this why you made Haley install her own radio?
No, I thought that would make really good content. Plus, she
Yeah.
could kind of understand what it is that we go through.
Yeah.
So, you know, and she was like, dude, why is this? This is a pain in the ass. Because there was a lot of that we didn't show. Because like we had to retune the kicker key.
You
turns
got
out
the womp 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 sound.
I got the womp 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 sound because apparently the KS tweet. Don't even get me started on the KS tweeters. When they work, they work. When they don't, they're pissing me off. I will tell you this: if you have a KS tweeter that stops working, don't assume your tweeter's blown. Check the leads, because like I'm over there. I'm like, there's no way this tweeter's blown. There is no way this tweeter's blown. There's no fucking way. So I go over there and take a little razor knife and I shave off the little black crap. Yeah. And I go beep. Tweeter works fine. Son of a bitch. The fucking lead came off. The speaker. I'm like, how does that happen? Like seriously, how does that happen? So I'm over there like soldering that shit back together. I'm so pissed. Like, yeah, I just want to go home. It's my one day off.
Yeah. This is your fault, Haley. This is all your fault.
Yeah.
Check his Arc Audio. Appreciate it.
Oh. Actually, I'm pretty excited. Brian's gonna go with us to when we go to Hoover Dam. We're picking him up.
Nice.
Yeah. I goes, you ever been to Hoover Dam? He goes, no. He goes, yeah, but I'm like, we're going. He goes, I'm going too then. It's like, well, yes, you are. We're bringing the dog. Chewbacca's coming with us. Yeah. Well, I figure if we have Chewbacca, we'll get like, I mean, dude, it's like an ambassador of Pet Me.
Yeah.
You know, oh, everyone wants to touch that dog. Oh, can I touch your dog? Yeah.
Well, let us through the line. Let us.
Yeah. We got this beautiful dog. We got the beautiful Frenchie.
Right.
He's so adorable.
So, Dean.
Yes.
We have a topic tonight.
Oh,
and this is a very good topic for Dean. It's car audio annoyances.
No, everything.
So, before we get into that, do you have a Dean rant for us this week? Is there anything? Can we pop this up?
So it was. All right, this is not really a rant. This is kind of funny. So today on Instagram, you know, we had this F350. We worked out outside all day, which I fucking hate working outside. The rest of the world is freezing their asses off. We had a heat wave today. We were sweating. So it was, I mean, but don't get me wrong. I would much rather do that than Monday when we're sitting in there like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the funny part. So I said, hey, do you guys a favor. Anytime you're going to drop me off a vehicle to work on and you have this plastic mats, for the love of God, do not armor all them. Okay? Because, like, we're working outside and it's a truck. And like, you're literally just waiting to die because you're going to slip and fall and you got to pull yourself up into a truck. So the customer, of course, was watching. He comes in, he's like, bro, man, I was waiting all day for you guys to go live. And then you said, don't armor all my floors. I was like, oh. I'm like, it's okay, man. He goes, man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's all right, bro. It's just, it was just one of those things where we're both like, so like, just, I don't want to slip and fall. I don't want to slip. And you're like, it's literally like, it's like you guys walking out to the mailbox.
Yeah.
On you know, it's like, you know, it's like, walk in the snow, idiot. Oh, I got my flip flops on. Stupid. But anyways, that was not really a rant, but it was just funny.
Yeah. So was this truck lifted or was it just like normal?
No, luckily it was factory height, but it's an F350.
They're pretty. So they're high.
They're high. Goddamn high. It's like, you know, Fernando's got to get out the 3-step ladder just to get to the battery. You know, I'm looking at it like here.
Yeah.
You know, so. You know, the front ends of trucks are goddamn like, it's like a 4x8 sheet of wood.
Yeah, it is. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they cost as much as like 3 sheets of wood. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. All right. So what do you got?
All right, car audio annoyances. So let me just start with one of the most common, and this is only annoyance if you're like a YouTube guy.
Okay.
Like, what's the best 6.5? So
somebody asked me that today.
Someone asked me that almost every day, but
yeah,
it is if you look at it from their perspective, it's a bit of it's just so vague. It could be a valid question.
It is.
If we had the information, like you said, if we had to talk about what do you want, what car do you have, how much are you looking to spend, but when you just get it in the what's the best 6.5, it's like, oh man,
fake wattage. Yeah, but see, the nice thing is you have fake amplifier wattage and fake speaker power handling capabilities. So to me, it's all just a wash. You know, it's all just a wash.
The Rockville thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the funny things where we'll sit there and someone will say, "Hey, man, what's the best 6.5?" And it's like, okay, well, there's two ways I can answer this. I can try to educate you on how to buy a proper set of 6.5s to make yourself happy, or I could be a douche. I have a friend of mine years ago. He fell off the map, but he worked for Sound Advice, and guy comes in, one of his customers comes in and says, "Bro, I want the best 6.5s, best speakers you have for my car this year. We're doing this up." And he goes, "Bro, dial it back a bit. I don't know if you understand. We have full cal, so that means I can sell you a set of Utopias." He goes, "Whatever, bro. I want the best, most expensive speakers you have." And he's like, "No problem, man." So I go, "So you sold me Utopias?" He goes, "You don't know how much they cost yet, but yeah, I sold them Utopias." I was like, wow, go for it. High fives, man. So
he's like a football player or something.
Who knows? But no, those guys are cheap as fuck. Don't let them kid you. They're cheap. But I mean, that's the problem. It's like when you ask me what's the best 6.5, it's like I freaking Piccolo tweeter from Morales. It's what, $2,000?
Right.
$2,000. We sell Thesis 6.5-inch mid range. There's $3,000 a pair. I can conceivably sell you a set of $10,000 6.5s, and wouldn't that mean they're the best speakers? So you got to put it on the tennis court that makes sense for you. Don't be like I'm on the floating tennis court in the middle of Abu Dhabi, playing with the sheiks. Like, no, it don't work, bro.
Right.
You're at a sand lot in the backyard, just chasing the tumbleweeds off with your refurbished balls. You're somewhere between those two. It's so, you kind of have to ask a question that has a little bit more substance to it, so that I don't have to sit there and explain, okay, so here's what you need to look at. Are you going to amplify them? Are you not going to amplify them? If you're going to amplify them, are you going to go buy a down for sound amplifier that's 200 watts by 4? And if so, okay, so now we have to find something that has necessary high power handling and isn't really efficient, because, big magnet structure means not as efficient. But yeah, you could put 200 watts in because for some dumbass reason you think that putting 200 watts to the speaker is going to make it louder. And reality is it's not. It's just going to, now you got to have big ass batteries and you got to do all this other horse shit. And it's like,
and this goes back to the 90s. It's just the way the marketing is. Like, this is how we can sell something new every year. Oh, we have 100 more watts. We have 40 more watts.
Let's just change it from a 4 to a 5.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Apple learned from the best, didn't they?
Master's degree in business.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Elf when he pitched him. You're pitching me my two best writers that we bring in a different writer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Number one is people not calibrating expectations to their budget. El Fuego, praise Jesus. Yes. And this is funny because this is something that I try to include in the conversation we're having, because it's like when you got to show me how to do that. When we're talking and you're explaining to me what it is that your vision for the system is, I'm under the impression you have no idea what we're talking about. Like, and that's why I'll ask, have you ever had a stereo before? And if you're like, no, then I know you don't know shit. That means like $2,500 is about where you're at. and I'm going to talk you into $5,000, possibly $7,000, because that's really what you want. You want the $7,000 system, but you're coming in at $2,500 thinking that's what you're going to get. And it's like, I understand you don't understand how this works. Like I have a good customer of mine that texted me the other day, and he was like, hey, I have a friend, and he's got this truck and he wants to do this, and he wants a DSP and he wants to do this, and he's got a $2,500 budget. And I just kind of giggled because it was a text message and he wasn't on the phone with me. I'm going to call him later and giggle to him in person. But it's like, you have $2,500. Like, right. I mean,
that's what's going to cost you just to buy all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, like a DSP, a standalone DSP
it's like
of
quality.
$600-$700. Yeah. I mean, like you can get like the DSR ones, which is probably going for about $280 now, maybe $299 because of price increase. $500 a year ago was about the cheapest you would find an actual metal DSP box for outside of a Dayton, which who gives a shit? So no, it's not burn. It's just what it is, man. Hey, there's good, bad, and there's good, bad, and better. It's all right,
Yeah.
But I'm talking about we're talking about quality stuff here, so. All right, and then just putting this DSP in, like you got to figure it's a 3-hour ordeal, 3 to 4 hours with a DSP that we're going to charge you for. We're at $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
All right, and now you need amps, and now you need speakers, and it's like this stuff snowballs really fucking quick,
Yeah.
And that's what's great about the DIY community, where it's like, no, I'm going to do this stuff myself, and it's like I'm all for it. Watch our videos, try to copy that. Pay attention. Don't take shortcuts. And that's what I don't understand. It's like, okay, listen, you want to do it yourself, but somehow you want to take a shortcut? What the fuck? Why would you dirty yourself like that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why in the hell are you going to shortcut yourself? I don't understand that. Like shortcut your friend, shortcut your parents, but yourself, do yourself right. Don't do yourself dirty. But somehow everyone always, I just wanted to get in and see how it sounds. It's going to sound great, dumbass. I don't mean to slow down. All car audio guys need to be installers.
I think that's kind of like what, so you get what he's putting down here. And I think it's kind of true in the DIY community or like the enthusiast community. If you don't install your stuff, oh, you're nobody. You ain't nothing. You didn't do it, so you don't know nothing about car audio. And they really shame people for that. I don't get it.
I mean, so we're teaching a class at Knowledge Fest, and the opening slide for it is that when your hobby becomes your job, you need to go find a new hobby. Okay, because you can't have. You can have passion for something, but you also need escape from it. So years ago, car audio was a passion of mine. Like everyone in the comments, it was something fun to do, and I enjoyed it a lot. And that led me to be like, oh, I could make a career out of this, and I could do fun things and make cool shit and listen to stuff I could never afford. And at some point down that road, you're like I'm doing that. But now I need something else to do. I can't focus on just this. My life it becomes too boring, too thin.
Right.
No character to it at all. So you have to go find another form of entertainment somewhere to do. When you do it, and there again, this I always fall back to photography because that was where I fell into, was taking pictures and buying photography equipment and doing all that stuff. And when somebody says, "Hey, I'm a professional photographer," and it's like, "No, you're not. You're not a professional photographer." And I only say that because, like, right here, okay, that's $7,000.
One out of G Masters.
Yeah, it's $7,000 right there, and
it don't have a lens cap. Shame on you.
It fell off when I pulled it out, and then this is its little brother right here. Okay, all right. So between those two, that's a car. Here's the lens cap. Anyways, my point is it's like I'm still not a professional photographer, even though I have equipment that professionals use, because I don't make a living doing that. It's a hobby. Right. You know, over 60 to 70% of my income doesn't come from doing that. So I'm an amateur, and that's all I ever want to be. And I can still have fun doing that. When you're doing, like back then when I was making my own stuff and doing it for fun, lenses are gun safe, like a boss. Exactly, right? I mean, where else would you put them? The gun's not in the safe. I don't want to get the two anywhere near each other. Every airport you go through, it's like they always swab those things, man. So ammo is nowhere near the lenses. But my point is that if you get to it, right? If you have a hobby, you could be a professional level hobbyist and do amazing things and understand. But you also know that you don't want to do it for a living because you have way too much fun doing it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be a professional to do professional work. Okay. Yeah. But you don't want to confuse the two, even though like you can do professional work and you can make awesome equipment and you can do all kinds of shit. You're not a professional and you never will be. And that's not saying that a professional is better than you. They're not. But right. When you do something 5 to 6 days a week, 9 hours a day, there's a certain amount of intelligence, good or bad, that you're going to accumulate that as a hobbyist, you will never, ever, ever, ever get. It's just not happening.
Well, you're on the clock. You're on the clock, you know.
Well, it's not just that. You just see more problems. You see, you know, you get your 10,000 hours. You know, I mean, you could be installing everybody's system at work and your buddies and all that stuff, having fun, making $100 weekends and doing all kinds of fun shit like that. And that's cool. Like, you know, and you're making some money and you're having a good time. You're still not a professional, right? You still don't know what it's like to be in that moment of like, this is what my livelihood depends on the outcome of this.
Right.
So, you know, like if you've burn some guy's car to the ground, they're gonna punch you in the face. You know, be like, "What the hell, man, bro? You should take it professional."
Exactly.
You know,
and for my side of it is, you know, I build enclosures? Yeah, I do it. I used to do it all the time, but if I need an enclosure now, guess what I'm gonna do? Like, I got a guy. He's really good at it. He does it often. He does it a lot. I can just pay him a small. To me, might seem like a lot to you, but to me, it's a small fee for my time to get a really nice box that I don't have to get sawdust all over my garage for. So I think like even people that I think even in the SQ community, like if you had your SQ system installed and tuned by a pro, you know, they want to shade you a little bit for that. Maybe not so much the tuning, but the install part.
Let them throw shade. Who gives a shit? Yeah. I hate when DI guys rag on us professional installers about charging too much. I have a simple answer for that. Do it yourself.
Yeah. This isn't for you.
No, I mean, it's like experience. I have it. Good. And there again, good, bad installers. They all have experience. You know, most good installers, not all installers. And you got to understand, when I talk about installers, the installers I know and that I associate with are good installers. We're all at that level that we all bring each other up, you know. So my friends that are installers, and I have a bunch of them, that's who I'm talking about. I guys that, you know, there's plenty of shade tree professional installers, and I can't help those guys. I try, and hopefully, you know, I met a lot of them. I've had a lot of installers say to me like, "Dude, you've really changed it up for me. You've really opened my eyes," and it's like awesome, because that's what I want to do. I want everyone to be at that level. Whether you're professional or you're an amateur or whatever you want to call it, I don't care. I want everyone operating at the best that they can, and bring, because that's what matters. Yeah. But when someone like when someone comes in and says, "Why are you charging so much?" and it's like, "Well, come on over here, let me show you." Okay, see, that panel that we're going to put on your dash, put that stupid bass knob right there, or the brackets for your tweeters, that's going to be made on that box right there. That box was $4,500. Okay. Yeah. Though when we're done and we're going to tune it, we're going to need an RTA. Okay. So not only going to, we have an RTA, there was $1,000 for that, but not only do we have one, if we run into any problems along the way, I have an IRTA too that I bought for $259 at a really great value. And that's one. Anyway,
plug. That's the next banner, Dean plug.
Yeah, team plug. But no, it's like I have all these tools. I have this drawer of tools that are designed to help me fix problems that I run into or solve problems that I run into. These toolboxes, these cases, everything here is to make my job easier in your application. I don't have to go looking for something, so, and this all costs money.
Right.
So, if you want somebody that has the right tools to do the job, I'm your guy. Otherwise, do it yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same in any professional industry. You're gonna, if you want something cut on a CNC, a precision cut, it's gonna cost you money. If you want something milled out on a lathe, it's gonna cost money.
Oh yeah.
Time is money, and tools.
Yeah. Yeah. So it says any 5-star swag ship with the IRTA2s. I know I'm pushing it. LOL. Actually, it's funny you asked. We haven't said anything about this, and this is the only time I'll ever say anything about it. Every IRTA ships with a prize.
Oh.
So and there again, I have no idea what the prizes are while supplies last. We just had a box of random swag that we've accumulated over the years, and I was like, Fernando was like, dude, we got to do something with this. And I was like, all right, I said, I'm going to take it home and I'm just going to have the girls throw one piece of whatever it is we have in with the IRTAs and we'll just ship it out. So it's like, we have a little bit of everything that we've just accumulated over the years. And even when we were at SEMA, we were literally just going around to booths and taking stuff so that we could throw them in the boxes.
There you go.
It's like koozies. All right. Yeah. Just a stack of koozies. I was like, take the koozies. We'll ship them with the IRTA. It'd be like packaging. The prize is Dean's signature. No, I don't sign, bro. No signature, Bob.
Until they run out, and then it's not.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So right now we're, and I'm not my idea. When you buy something from Mobile Solutions at mobilesolutionsusa.com, let that sink in. Master Tech Expo coming up real soon. Anyways, he always ships it with like Tootsie Rolls and lollipops. There's always a little bag of candy that goes in with your order. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. So it's like
Sweetwater does that too. The microphone place.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I gotta order some stuff from them for other reasons. But, yeah. So, and we were talking about it today. I was like, once all this crap runs out, I was like, maybe we should do that. And Fernando was like, oh, okay, Mr. Moneybags. And I'm like, well, no, I just, it's like, I want to, we're doing what we can. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
we're doing what we can. It's just fun.
Listen, he's got the website up for you guys. That's enough. That was a chore in itself. Listen, I'm doing my taxes now. Good Lord. Good Lord.
Well, it only hurts for a while.
What you got coming up then, man? What's going on? Sweet Life?
The Boring Life?
Yeah.
Sweet Life? Sweet Life, Zach and Cody. Boring Life is you'll get part 2 of Haley's picks for football.
Oh, okay.
So she filmed some of that last week, and I'll put it all together. Obviously, it'll be up sometime this weekend, which would be cool. I'm thinking next week I'm not 100% on this one, but I think we'll at least get one install diaries. We have a big, I know someone's like, dude, 91 days install diary's been held hostage. And I'm like,
they're counting it down. That's great.
Yeah. I'm like, we just have other stuff. I mean,
that's great.
There was a while there where it was just like nothing but install diaries. And to me, that's boring. It's just
right.
I know everyone loves it, but it's boring. I like moving content around. That's why we have so many different shows, because it's like, if it's just all install, it's like, I don't want to get, no. Yeah. So, but I think install diaries is going to start back next week. because we have some we've been waiting to edit and whatnot.
I love it when you stop right at like a very crucial part and it's like part 2. Like, God, Dean, come on, bro. And then you hold it hostage for 90 days.
Oh, dude. So real quick.
Yeah.
You know, the Ground Zero build that was going on, we did most of that like 6 months ago. And then I blew up the amplifier before we could finish. And I blew it up.
Yeah.
Oops.
You beat it.
Yeah. Well, then so they moved in the process, and needless to say, it got lost.
Oh,
and I'm calling, I'm like, dude, it's been 6 months. Like, I've been really patient. I just, you know, I know it's like, how do I kind of be a dick about this without being a dick? Because it's like, you guys gave us the stuff to film a video and I blew it up, but we kind of want to finish the goddamn video. Yeah. So could you find the fucking amplifier and send it to us? So they're like, yeah, oh, you haven't got that back? Like, no one knew. And so it was nobody's fault, except for me for breaking it. And so anyways, I got it back. And then it was like, it had been so long since we'd shot the first half of the video. We had no idea what we filmed. So I was like, all right, so we'll just edit the video up until the point to where we don't have any more video, and then we'll finish it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, awesome. So we were supposed to finish it last week so that it could come right in and you could get it first video this week and then, you know, wrap it up today. And we had a snow day. And there was like no fucking way we were staying to work that night because it was like, you know. So we filmed it, you know, one night this week. And it was just funny, man. It was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was good. And so now it's done. It's like,
it's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
I always find it funny. The one comment people go, I wish we could get Ground Zero here in the US. It's like, you can. They have a store locator on their website. I mean, it's like, it's there. But all right.
Is it a dealer only thing? Or
yes.
They sell? Okay. Yeah,
there's no online. Yeah, they don't do anything online. Well, their speakers don't have a warranty.
Oh,
like snap. You buy the speakers, you own both speakers. You break it, you bought it. So
you break it, you bought it.
Yeah, it's really weird how they do business. But
all right, well,
apparently they'll fix the amps when you break them.
Listen, I don't have a video for this week, so I had I had to work on some stuff. So, and I've got to work on some more, but I'll have a video next week. But until then, get your Crimpin' 8 Easy shirt, HiFiVega.com. It's easy, man.
All right, guys.
Just go.
Vega plug.
Vega plug.
Dude, you're having way too much fun with that. All right, guys. Make sure to join us over on SideJag. If not, thank you for watching. Who gives a shit? Crappy ass movie. All right, guys. See you next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.